Everyone lives life once and naturally wants to live it happily. The desire for happiness stems from human nature. That's why humanity has always pondered on this topic, and the brightest minds have thought about it. Even the hedonistic ideas that have permeated modern life aim to make people happy, although they equate prosperity with the abundance of material pleasures. Nevertheless, the search for prosperity remains central. It is through these pursuits that people fall into sin. Modern people sin not because they are enemies of truth, but because they want to be happy. Sin becomes attractive because it is perceived as an action that brings pleasure. What about inner peace? How can pleasure be made permanent rather than fleeting? The concept of jihad against the nafs answers these questions. This struggle is not a journey outward, but inward into one's own soul. Since the soul is immaterial, it has no shape or boundaries. Truth resides within our soul. Thus, without self-awareness, it is impossible to recognize the truth. A person's happiness lies in attaining the truth, and the path to prosperity runs through the reform of the self. Those who understand that the material world is transient and ever-changing realize that true happiness cannot be measured by material standards. As a result, they become unsettled about their place in life and begin to strive for change. The more satisfied a person is with themselves, the more they block their own path to improvement. Everyone wants their worries to disappear once and for all and find peace. For instance, a young person might think, after finishing school, they'll enter university, get a degree, find a job, travel the world, build a career, get married, have children, etc. And then what? Will the heart's search end? Will the heart seeking a better life and greater pleasure find tranquility? After achieving all this, will one truly find themselves? Of course not. Because a reflective person will see that their desires and aspirations are endless. Those who believe most of their desires will not be fulfilled will fall into depression. They might try to suppress their fear of failure with relentless work, alcohol, drugs, heavy music, or endless entertainment. All this is for hiding from oneself, silencing one's inner voice. Conversely, if a person advances in thought rather than succumbing to despair, they will realize that they actually strive for is eternity and infinity. They long for absoluteness, for ultimate power, love, pleasure, and beauty in their eternal forms. The absolute is God. In other words, a person will see that their endless desires are calling them toward God, the absolute. The Quran speaks of them, those who are sure that they are going to meet their Lord and that they will return to Him. Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 46. This goal, though high, is equally distant. One must journey toward it throughout their entire life. This objective never becomes mundane or trivial. As one steps toward God, they discover themselves step by step, observing new and greater beauties and experiencing deeper pleasures. This quality makes the long journey sweet and captivating. This is difficult to understand because humans are beings who want to achieve goals quickly. On this path, one must overcome obstacles, reflect, wait, show patience, and triumph over difficulties. While reason is the lamp that lights the way, we also need an engine to move forward. If reason guides the human soul, love is its engine. If we don't love the target, we won't have determination to reach it. Many people, like God, have affection for the Creator, but they are not in love with Him. Only love can drive us to resolute actions. To ignite this love in the heart, one must frequently remember God. This is called dhikr. As a term, dhikr means remembering God. For example, phrases like Alhamdulillah, all praise belongs to Allah, Allahu Akbar, Allah is the greatest, and La ilaha illallah, there is no deity but Allah, are considered forms of dhikr. However, Dhikr is not merely reciting God's name, it is keeping the goal in mind at all times. A person must keep their goal in mind at all times. The more a person remembers their goal, the closer their connection with God becomes. Thus, dhikr is a connection between a person and Allah. As this connection strengthens, so does love. It is dhikr that reminds us of where we came from, where we are, and where we are going. It maintains our bond with the goal and ensures that we never forget it. Dhikr is also our invaluable weapon during the heavy jihad with the nafs. But what makes the struggle against the self so challenging? About this in the next episode.